Mike's E-Keys for cars. Supple's Building and Remodeling. 1-800-800-ROSE and Hawkeye Courier. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive. The Oxyoke Inn. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes at Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, and from Hawkfanatic.com, Pat Harty. Good afternoon and good morning. Hello.
Good morning, I think, Jim.
How was your weekend?
Busy.
Yeah?
Real busy, yeah. I've been busy the last 4 or 5 days, which is okay, I guess.
But you got to see the gymnastics meet yesterday.
Yeah, and that was fun. The Hawkeyes won, and the gal we interviewed, she had 3 events. Mm-hmm. Gianna Maselli.
And she did well?
Yeah.
Good,
yeah.
Good.
One of the Iowa gals, I can't remember her name, won 3 of the 4 events. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was good. Good crowd. And, yeah. Extreme Arena is a great venue for stuff.
And we had a good crowd on Saturday, just the result wasn't all that great.
For the men in Wisconsin,
It was it was.
It was
10,000.
You think 10?
Maybe 9, 10.
Yeah. I thought it was probably the best crowd we've had all year as far as numbers go.
How about Iowa State?
Okay, Iowa State.
I think there was.
Yeah, no, you're right. Iowa State was.
Well, I meant there was more there for Iowa State.
Yeah, that's true too.
But yeah, it was as good as it's going to get right now, and unfortunately, the result wasn't.
Oh no, and I wasn't surprised. I mean, we were competitive for most of the game. But
yeah, I mean, it would have been hard enough beating them with Freeman, as they saw in the first game, but without him, it wasn't going to happen.
No,
Rutgers, I don't know. Rutgers is so up and down. At times they look like the best team in the conference. At times they look like the worst team. They lost at Maryland yesterday. Maryland, these are 2 back-to-back. This is going to be
on the
tough.
Roaders.
This is going to be tough. It's easy to look at them being 4-10 here in a week.
Yeah, it is. I hope not.
But I'm not overly confident the women are going to win tonight either.
No. Well, they beat us at home, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're not playing. They've lost 3 out of 4 and 2 in a row. And the thing with the Michigan game, they just missed a bunch of threes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they missed 3 of their, I think they only made 3 of their 14 threes. And they didn't get many. Michigan did Iowa women, their worst part of their defense is 3-point defense. So we'll see. But no, the men, they're in a tough spot right now.
They are. The chances the NCAAs are as close to 0 as you don't. Are we? We have to win the tournament, Big Ten tournament,
or they could win out. They could do something like that would. They're 4-8 if they won out and went 10-8, but they're not going to do that. We know they're going to be lucky to win half their games they have left the way they're playing and with what they have. I mean, if they could split this week, to me that would be a significant accomplishment. Then they still have to play. Who else? They still got to. What else do they have left?
We're going to be favored in 1 game.
At Northwestern, I don't.
Washington at home.
Oh, Washington at home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I've watched Washington enough to know if they play well, they can beat Iowa.
Sure they can.
But they're not very good.
Okay, so after this week, we got Rutgers and Maryland down the road. These are the men. And then we've got 2 games at home, Oregon and Washington.
Yeah, I mean,
winnable.
Oregon, last I saw their record was 5-6 in Big Ten play. They're not a typical Oregon team.
No,
they're athletic.
They're now 5-8.
So, yeah, but, I mean, we're talking about an Iowa team that lost to Minnesota at home. So, I mean,
yeah, we are.
I don't think there's anything they're not capable of doing the wrong way. But I also still think they've got a little life in them to where they're going to win. They're going to win at least, I think, 2 or 3 conference games left. I would like to think so.
Yeah, so
I mean,
away this week and then 2 home games.
Then they're at Northwestern,
at Illinois, at Northwestern.
Yeah, Illinois is 8-5. They're probably not going to win at Illinois.
Probably not.
I think they have a chance at Northwestern. Northwestern's kind of tanking because they're in the same boat.
Barnheiser.
They're in the same position. They weren't that sturdy to begin with, but now they've lost arguably their best player, and they're just really not deep, and that's what you have with Iowa.
Then March 6th, you have Michigan State at home.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's easy to say they'll probably lose that game. They've risen up and beaten Michigan State before at times.
Lick did it.
Lick did it.
Yeah.
Izzo called it the most embarrassing moment in his life, and he buried his head. I was sitting right there. He buried his head and kind of went, ugh. It was great. He did the lurch, he was distraught. And they had only scored, didn't they only score 37 points?
It was like 42 to
37 or something like that. It was just miserable. But Izzo had some teams at times that weren't great. I mean, they had some, and that obviously I think was maybe one of them. I don't remember watching. Probably went to the Final Four. I mean, but I remember that game.
I think that team.
Actually, I think that team ended up doing okay.
I think they did.
I don't think they were. Now that I think about it, because I think I got a laugh when I thought back to, when I was watching them in the tournament, I'm like, God, that team lost to Iowa. And it was like 42-37. But, yeah, this is a tough week going out on the East Coast. Maryland's 8-5. They're 18-6. They had that game at Ohio State, and they're
just not very consistent.
Bruce Thornton took it over. He is, man, when he is on, he's as good as anybody in the conference. He had 31 points in that game. And Ohio State found a way to win at home, and they're another team. There's so many teams that are right around 500 now, but see, now Iowa's not one of them. Iowa has drifted from 500. They're 4 below.
Iowa has drifted to the bottom tier.
Now, the women at one point were 4 below, but then the women figured out, the women have a chance to win 5 in a row after losing 5 in a row.
Uh-huh.
See, the men, I just don't think are capable of doing that right now. And in fairness, the women are, they're healthy. And their best player, who they went out and got in the portal, is starting to rise up at the right time. So there's a lot of positive energy with the women. But if they lose tonight, we come in here Wednesday, and it's gloom and doom. And, we'll see.
Well, and I think we're favored by like 3 tonight.
I haven't seen. I mean, yeah, I would think it would be a close spread either way. Like I said, I'd be surprised if Iowa won tonight. No, Nebraska's not that good. I mean, but the thing is about the first game, they won, and wasn't their center in a lot of foul trouble the whole game? And yet they still.
Yes.
She didn't play that much, did she?
No, but Britt Prince just
well,
killed
she
us.
did. Yeah. Now, hopefully, they make some adjustments and don't let. But my bigger worry is somehow it's Markowski, right? Alexis Markowski. Mm-hmm. I worry she's healthy. I assume. I didn't see anything. I haven't seen anything to say she's not. I worry more about her not getting into foul trouble and maybe causing them some trouble inside. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a close game. Now, and if Iowa wins, I mean that's
it'd be a nice win.
Now, if they lose, I'm not ready. Oh God, they're done. There's no real. I still think they're going to get it in the tournament now. I'm not convinced like some are that some in the media, I heard them talking at a press conference, say that they're a lock at 7-11. I
did.
Maybe they know more than me. They cover it more than I do, but that seems a little bit hanging on to the Caitlin Iowa brand from the last couple of years. To where I do know
the beating USC was a huge.
Oh, it definitely helped.
Huge
7-11.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think they got to do better than that.
I would think 8 and 10 at the lowest, but again, maybe we're wrong. I mean, but no, I think they're going to get in because I think they're going to beat Northwestern. They still have to play Rutgers, right?
Yes.
That's 8 wins right there. See, they're 8 and 10. I think they're in, and they can improve their position in the Big Ten tournament, of course. But yeah,
so we got 2 quad wins in a row at Minnesota and USC. So those 2 games help a lot,
and they're going to beat the 2 teams. So yeah, I think minimum they've got 8 wins. I think they're in, but you'd like to try to. I mean, you going in with 8 wins, you've got that risk of being like an 8-9. They're not going to go much lower than a 10 seed because they just can't. There's not enough open spots. But you want to avoid an 8-9, but they're going to have to win a few more games to avoid being like an 8-9 seed. They've got, but there's opportunities. I mean, that schedule's really hard in some points and really soft in others.
Yep. And
tonight's game's going to be interesting to see where both these teams are going because right now they are moving in different directions.
They be.
And the last time they played, they were moving in different directions, pro-Nebraska, but Iowa was struggling. That was one of the 5 games they lost, so it's going to be interesting. Do the women there draw pretty well? I think they do, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, and it's a nice arena.
I mean, they don't draw like we do. But
they draw pretty. They draw like Iowa did prior to Megan and Caitlin. Yeah, kind of, and which was 5, 6, 7,000.
Yeah,
like
there'll be a good crowd tonight. There'll be a fair amount of Iowa fans.
Why are you here? Why aren't you there? You and Ann, you could have left yesterday. You could have. How many?
We haven't recovered from our last trip yet.
How many casinos are there in the Omaha area that you could hit?
There's several.
With a vengeance.
And the only time we've been to a casino in the Omaha areas was Shane Soberoff's wedding.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he got married in the Omaha area? So that means his bride was from the Omaha area.
I'm assuming, yes.
I can't imagine why they would. Hey,
well,
let's just get married in Omaha. I know it has nothing to do with either family, but
yeah, I don't know.
I haven't been in Omaha very much. I haven't spent a lot of time in Omaha.
I go through there.
I go through there tons, but I've just never really stayed there much. Because every time I'm going through there, I'm either going to Colorado or Lincoln.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
We've been in Lincoln a lot. Our band played in Lincoln. Twice, I think.
Not impressed. But
no.
Nebraska fans, hey, some clown in Iowa's making fun of Lincoln. Some clown in a cornfield in Iowa City. So I get it. I've got the self-awareness. But you asked me about Lincoln. No,
yes.
I was not. It was a very underwhelming the first time. Because I had really never been in Lincoln until Nebraska joined Big Ten and went for football. And I just remember watching them all the time on Thanksgiving, thinking that Lincoln was sort of this magic. Because remember, those games were always the Thanksgiving, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Then I get there, and I'm like, this? Ugh.
Yeah.
It was just underwhelming. Not impressed.
I will say that when we played Lincoln, we got
booed.
There was a restaurant but we weren't their favorite. But no.
Why weren't you there? Because did they know you were Hawkeyes? Did you have Hawkeye attire?
It wasn't that. No, we did not have Hawkeye attire.
So you never played with Hawkeye stuff on?
Maybe around here, maybe.
Well, you wouldn't want to do that in some because you think that it might fans. Hawkeye suck, stuff like that.
We played in 42 different states, so we weren't wearing Hawkeye gear.
I'm told Hawkeyes are loved everywhere. Don't you think?
That may be, but
not in some of the places you played.
We didn't play in T-shirts. Let's put it that way.
So, did you dress up?
Yeah.
Like, did you all match? Were you guys like Devo?
No.
Well, I'm not saying you had flower pots, but did you all wear matching clothes?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you all kind of dressed up?
Yes.
Ties?
At various times, at one time in our existence, we wore backwards dress shirts with ties. It was kind of cool, really.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it was.
I would have been in the front row, drunk, yelling, "Hey, how'd the job interview go?" And then you guys would have been like, "God, I wish this guy would."
Yeah,
shut
you
up.
wouldn't have liked it. But there was a restaurant when we played Lincoln that had something called the Cornhusker Burger, which was the biggest sandwich I think I've ever seen. It had 2 big beef patties, 3 or 4 slices of cheese, half dozen slices of bacon.
Did you eat it all?
Yes, every shred.
Yeah, it sounds good. So it was a big, massive bacon cheeseburger.
We ate like pythons. We had 1 meal a day. And, generally, if there was a buffet or something, that's what we would try to get.
Did you ever hit Shakey's?
Yeah.
Right.
And then at the end, if we did hit a buffet, we would steal a big, white meat piece of chicken and put it in Ann's purse. So it'd give us something to look forward to after the gig. So we'd have a big piece of chicken after the gig.
Oh, so crime was part of the...
Yes, it was.
Crime was part of the landslide experience.
And it paid.
Well, for some... because you never got caught. So if you added up all the times you stole food, what do you think it adds up to? What did you get?
Well, we always paid for our buffet, so...
Well, yeah, but how would you... You'd have to dine and dash.
Yeah.
I did do that once as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah. And luckily I was pretty fast as a kid because they were chasing. Now, can they go back? Is that the statute of limitations?
I believe you're
safe?
okay.
One gig we played, our drummer had a cat that traveled with him.
By choice or?
His choice, not the cat's.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
So was the cat not happy?
Typically not. But no, he was a good cat. But I think it was Ann had a chicken breast or keel, kept cool on the window thing, right by the window.
Yeah.
And the cat was with us, and the cat had eaten the chicken.
Oh, no.
So it was sad, bleak.
Because you were looking forward to that chicken.
Oh, my God. And the cat nailed it.
So how would Wapsie have handled touring with the band?
Well, not well. She's neurotic.
A little bit of anxiety.
Yeah.
There's some dogs that would probably love that.
Yes, but Wopsy would not be one of them.
Okay, so maybe at the beginning, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how Buddy and Lakota were. I think
Wopsy is not adaptable.
I think after a while they'd want to go back. Hey, where's the couch? I think they'd like it for a while. Oh, this is cool. Look at all this attention. But then I think, if I remember my dogs correctly, I think, no, all right, we're done. Can we go back? And then Lakota would start killing things to where then we'd have to drive her back home because we wouldn't want her touring anymore.
And the drummer's cat would come stay with us. We had a trailer at the time out in the Iowa City Trailer Park, and the cat's name was Ludolph, and he would come in, and he loved it when he was at our trailer.
Better than traveling.
Much. In fact, when it was time to go back out on the road, he would crawl underneath our big bed because he didn't want to leave.
Wow.
So I had to get him.
So how many years did that cat do that?
Oh, I think Gary was with us a couple years.
Okay.
But he was a great cat. He really,
just ate your chicken.
Yes.
So a big so cat was able to eat a big massive.
Well, I don't know
how big
if
of a
he
piece was it?
Finished a huge. He didn't finish it, but
well, yeah, the moment he touches it, I get it.
Yeah,
I mean, but yeah, that's a lot for a cat to eat. Now a dog or something, yeah, I could see.
But it was a bitter moment.
Because were you out in the middle of nowhere and there's no food?
I can't remember where we were.
We better get back to the Hawks.
Or a Super Bowl, speaking of Hawks.
Yeah, I barely watched. I was fortunately watching when Cooper got his interception. I remember thinking, I'm not Bonnie Reynolds or anything, but I did. Right when he got, I'm like, man, he's going because there was nothing over there. And then, of course, he outmaneuvered those linemen.
He did.
To get into the end zone. Now, that was a cool moment. But the game itself, the Chiefs they looked horrible. They should have had the Bears play. I mean, I thought Philadelphia, I know I talked to some people, said they thought Kansas, I don't know. I just thought Philadelphia's defense was too good, and the difference in the game was Philadelphia's defensive line. They won the game. I mean, Hurts was good, don't get me wrong, but their defensive line dominated the line of
So
scrimmage.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw the first quarter, and then we had an event we went to.
I watched the first quarter a little bit. I'm like, once it got to be 27, I'm like, I quit watching.
Yeah.
It was just not fun anymore and not entertaining. And I didn't watch the halftime show. I wasn't making any stand. That's not my music.
I recorded it, and
are you a kid?
Oh my God, no!
I wouldn't know his music if someone turned it on. But I'm not criticizing. It's just I'm not interested.
I've never heard a second of his music that I enjoyed.
I don't believe I have either.
I've probably heard it and didn't know I was listening to
I doubt it. No, it's rap.
Well, I'm not saying I hate all rap. I just don't like much of it. I'm kind of like, with me, rap and country are sort of kind of as far as I would
see. I
would take country over rap because there's a lot of country that is almost sort of pop, it kind of.
Yeah.
Whereas rap, you got to have an acquired taste for it. And hey, more power to those who like it.
Yeah, my problem is I can't really tell the difference between a good rap and a bad rap, and I know, I can't distinguish.
Oh, me too. I mean. Oh, now how about Coolio? What is it? Gangster's Paradise. That's a good.
I don't know.
I love that song. There's a couple rap songs that I just. And how about the old one, Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang?
Yeah,
the ones that got it all
One
started.
of the original
Suter.
guys.
I guarantee you were dancing to that in nightclub.
No.
Yes, you were.
Not. No, sir.
I never went into a disco.
Do you even know what song I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, he would. You know what Rapper's Delight?
Yeah.
I guarantee you've heard it. It was basically the song credited with getting it started, right? 1979.
Yeah.
Came out.
Yep.
The Sugar Hill Gang. And they'll show Soul Train. They'll say there's old video of them playing that song with people. It was interesting. I'm thinking that's where it started.
Yeah.
And man, say what you want about it. It is a money-making business.
Oh boy.
It's amazing how much money some of those rappers can make.
One of them makes 50 cents.
No, he's made a ton of money over his years, but hasn't he also had financial issues?
So I think so. I think he's worth.
Yeah,
I think he's worth a lot.
Oh, I'm sure he's right. He's done a lot of different.
Well, didn't Gianna Maselli pick 50 Cent as her?
I believe she did.
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah,
I think she did. Yeah, and I'm sure the guy Kendrick Lamar is probably a multi.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, I'm going to look up and see what he's worth. I'll do the
Kendrick Lamar. I would bet.
I'm going to play captain's role.
$200 million.
I was going to say somewhere around there. I mean, I didn't even realize who he was much until. Okay,
yeah, it ain't my thing.
Here we go. Oh, they're making me click on something else.
And the winner is.
How much is? Newsweek. Now I have to click on a Newsweek.
Is he married? Kendrick Lamar, is he married?
That's not what I wanted.
Do I look like I would know that, Jeff?
No, I guess not. I'm sorry. Silly me to even ask.
Yes, it was.
Well, here, I'll click on. Drake is richer than as of February. Drake's net worth is estimated at $250 million, while Kendrick Lamar's is estimated at $140 million.
Oh,
so he's had the same partner since 2015.
What do he get? What do they pay?
Female?
Yes.
What do they pay? What do you think they get paid to do the Super Bowl?
I don't think they get paid
Nothing.
anything.
Oh, just the exposure.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. I think I do remember reading.
You want to play for 1 billion people?
Yeah.
This is the only way you're going to do it.
But a lot of the bands that do it, do they really need that? I mean, does that really have an impact?
No.
That would have helped Landslide more than.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, think about it.
Of course, they didn't have downloads then, so what?
No, I get it, but it is
been?
interesting though. The bands that they pick, the entertainers don't really need.
They don't need either money or exposure. No, they don't.
But they're getting, ultimately they're getting a bunch of both. I mean, they're being rewarded. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I mean, the Who's played at halftime. When you think about it, the Rolling Stones.
Just about everybody.
Bruce
Paul McCartney.
Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney.
Prince is the
Prince.
That was 2007, wasn't
That's
it? That was sort of the pinnacle.
That's the
or considered.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. Well, I'll tell you who hasn't played
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she won't.
She got booed.
Oh.
When they showed her,
did they?
Yeah, they booed her in the stadium. Yeah, I mean,
she was only on for like 20 seconds.
But they did boo her.
Yeah.
They did boo her.
That's why.
Because that's the rule.
Well, that could be Eagles fans too.
Could be.
Oh yeah, I bet if not all just no. I think that's a big part of it. But the game itself was just brutal. I didn't think it would be that one-sided. I mean, Kansas City's offense was just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I mean, the front four of the Eagles is really impressive. I mean, they just were dominating. They weren't even blitzing that often.
Did Kelsey catch any passes?
They finally caught a couple, but he had no impact on the game. Well, I quit watching. How'd they get their last 2 touchdowns?
I don't know.
I don't even remember how they did.
When the announcer said it was a 5-possession game, I decided to go to sleep.
Yeah, it was all inconsequential. I quit. I just changed it to something else when it was. I looked at one point; it was 40-7, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
I've seen Cooper's interception a half dozen times.
I have
of
too.
Course, yeah.
And I heard you guys playing some post game stuff with him talking, and but yeah, no, he's had a great rookie season. I mean, he is firmly established as a very good nickelback in the league, and he's going to, barring health issues, he's going to play in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
For as long as he wants. I mean, it was impressive. I mean, that was very impressive win by the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure was.
And the Chiefs, they've been to 3 of the last 4. They'll come back, but they got to build their offensive line. Their offensive line is a mess. I mean,
a 40-22 final?
Yeah, very misleading.
Yeah.
I was in a bunch of Super Bowl number pools. I don't believe I won anything.
They said they expected a high-scoring game, but I think they expected it to be like 28-27 or something like that.
Well, yeah, Mahomes got sacked 6 times.
Yeah,
he got pressured almost over.
Almost always.
Well, they were at one point. It was almost 60%. He was being pressured, and they asked Brady's like, "Oh my!" I mean, you could tell. I mean, Brady rarely had to deal with that, but Brady also got rid of the ball a lot faster than Mahomes was able to do last night. Guys weren't open, or if they were, he wasn't seeing them, and it was just a complete beatdown.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, kind of sorry I missed it, but on the other hand, I'm not sorry I missed it.
Yeah, you didn't. Like I said, it was boring.
We had tickets for this for a documentary, and one we saw 20 years ago, and they
not the G.G. Allen one again.
No, no. It was for the Dandy Warhol. You're a Dandy fan, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Very much so.
The Dandy Warhols and the Brian Jonestown Massacre.
Great. Both bands are great. Hello.
Hello. I think Kansas City got their touchdowns after the Steelers, the Eagles put in their last, third or fourth.
Put the third string and
Yeah.
fourth string in. Yeah,
Well, they
probably.
don't have fourth
Third or
string.
fourth string in.
They don't
Well,
have four.
Then he was able to throw a long pass, and that was one of them. But it looked to me like it wasn't the same defense that it was before.
So, Karn, were you at the gymnastics meet yesterday?
No, I had something else I had to go to, so I didn't go. But Rutgers was beaten. I think they beat them.
Rutgers was good, but no, the women looked real good yesterday. The Gym Hawks looked real good yesterday.
Yeah, I was sorry. I wanted to go and work it, but I had something else I had to go to.
Yeah.
So
I had to carry the banner for us.
oh yes, you had to.
It was okay.
And the next I won't be to either because I think there's a Iowa men's game and a wrestling on the same day.
Is that next Sunday?
It's the 16th.
Yeah. So we
Men
got
are at Maryland.
Illinois.
The
Men are at Maryland
on Sunday.
Yeah.
They're at Rutgers Wednesday and Maryland Sunday.
Okay. And do you think the men are even going to get into the Big Ten?
Well, it's too early to. I mean,
they got to win.
They got to win some games, but there's 8 games left. I mean, there was a lot of gloom and doom the other day. I get it, but there's still let it play out a little bit more.
Well, and then Wisconsin had those 2 7-footers, so they were.
Yeah.
They had tall people in there. We don't have quite that many tall people.
But it was
Tanji was the problem.
Blackwell.
Blackwell and
Blackwell's
Tanji.
ability to get to the basket.
Yep.
I couldn't believe how many times he just weaved his way to the basket for layups.
And, man, the last 7 or 8 minutes, Tanji was at the line a dozen times, I swear.
Yeah, but...
And then that guy, 92% free throw shooter.
Well, the team shoots 85%. Yeah, they lead the nation, and they made 9 free throws in the final 2 minutes to win the game.
Yeah.
Well, to secure the win. They were leading the whole time.
They were.
We had a bunch of Wisconsin people around us, but they weren't out of the ordinary like Nebraska people can be.
And the Iowa State fans were tremendously obnoxious when we played them.
And I was surprised that the Wisconsin fans weren't obnoxious. We had 2 that sat right in front of us, and they were very quiet, and they would clap very gently.
Well, they knew they were going to win, so yeah.
They thought, well, we're right in the middle of a bunch of Iowa people. We better not push them.
Well, and the Iowa men's basketball fans are surly, the ones that are there, so look out.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I don't blame us.
We got a little surly with some of the Nebraska people in the wrestling.
Well, they deserved it.
Yeah. They were, hey, we won. I said, oh, Big Red, sit down and shut up.
Well, they didn't win.
No, they didn't.
No,
They almost
they
won.
thought they won. They said,
With the last
they had
2
only 2
matches.
left, and they figured, well, we could win those, but we'll still lose by a point.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
Well, we got an extra point.
Iowa scored 10 points.
Yeah.
We got a major and a pins.
Yep.
So anyway, well, have a good day, guys.
All right, Karn, thanks for the call.
Bye.
Wow, Karn, a hater, didn't go to the gymnastics meet. What the hell?
Hater? It sounds like she was working a heater. A hater and a heater.
So you think the women's basketball team will get to Nebraska a little bit better than they did to Minnesota last week?
Boy, I hope so. What
My
a
guess is
nightmare.
they're there.
I would imagine
They got
so.
there yesterday.
Yeah.
They always try to get there the day before, and I would imagine that's probably a flight, isn't it? If Minneapolis isn't that about from Iowa City? Isn't
know.
Lincoln? Lincoln is what?
4.5?
It's roughly about the same as Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Minneapolis is a little farther.
A little bit, not
much.
Not much.
Not much.
Because they both take about 4.5 to 5 hours, and so I'm assuming they flew in yesterday. And other than being cold, it's not bad out at all.
No.
I mean, what is the temperature right now?
A whopping 22.
Well, it could be a lot worse.
22, you say. Well, let's see.
Wind chills 8 above.
Let's see what Weather Authority WeatherBug says.
And isn't it
is,
supposed to
Jim.
get to like 32 today?
Yes. This will be the warmest day of the week.
See, WeatherBug disputes your inaccurate numbers. WeatherBug says 21 degrees.
Okay. Well, actually, it's 22 and a half.
And you know what? Captain probably says it's like 11 outside right now.
Well, Captain, the bleak weather forecast, it's 7 below, ice storms, blizzard coming behind the ice storm.
Yes.
But we'll have all your coverage for you on the mighty Double J. That's what he'll be doing.
Well, the National Weather Service says we may get 3 to 5 inches of snow on Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
Seriously?
Yes.
Well, there's no the men play at Rutgers. There's nothing to where we have to be driving to.
No.
But we don't need 3 to 5 inches of snow.
Well, we could use.
But we haven't had much snow though,
we
man.
could use the snow for the.
Yeah, I
moisture,
mean we could. I mean,
but I don't. I'm with you. I'd rather not see it.
See, and the women host Rutgers on Thursday.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. And that they
So that'll be cleaned up.
They'll win that game easily.
Yeah.
Rutgers is terrible.
They're just not very good. Their coach is the former Penn State. I think Keese Washington. I believe she's the Rutgers. Man, that program once Vivian was done, and they even struggled a little bit at the end of Vivian.
They did.
They did, but man, they have really plummeted.
So where Texas beat South Carolina yesterday, women.
Really? Yeah, I don't think there's an invincible team this year. South Carolina last year was pretty close.
They were.
Yeah, they were pretty close. I mean, Caitlin came out and gave it her all in that first quarter, scored 18, ran out of gas, and then they were just the better team.
No one's found a way to beat UCLA yet.
No, maybe they are the class.
maybe.
And I saw that Ohio State lost by like 20 out at USC, only scored like 54 points. I watched them play a couple times now. I don't think they're that good.
Is Cody McMahon still out? Do you know?
I thought she was playing in the game I watched. But I've seen them play a couple times with her this year. They're okay. I mean, they're not. I just don't think they're as good as they've been recently.
I think you're probably right.
I'm beginning to wonder if it's UCLA. I mean,
and everybody
has
else.
UCLA and USC played yet? Obviously, no.
No.
When do they finally play? I mean, the season's 2/3 of the way over. It's weird that they haven't played. And I'm guessing they only play once, too, do they?
They only play once.
Which I think is kind of too bad this year. It'd be neat for them to play twice.
Yeah, SC has lost only. I wonder who beat USC.
I'm trying to remember.
But yeah, they beat Ohio State like 74-56, something like that. But I've just watched Ohio State play enough to where there's times where they're kind of like Iowa, they can't score.
I saw where already Lauren Betts has announced she's coming back next year.
Yeah, and the people were like, why is she not? Well, she was old enough to where she could have left for the WNBA. Why, though? Even with the salaries at like $250, I guarantee she's making more of that in NIL.
I'll bet she's getting.
I mean, Kelsey Mitchell signed for $256. That's the max right now. I get Lauren.
I'll bet she gets 3 times that at least.
Probably, at least she'd be losing money to go to the WNBA this early. That I still say is going to change down the line. Caitlin needs a little more time, and I think eventually that 256 is going to go up. Next thing you know, it's 400. You'll see it start to rise because of the television revenue that's coming in.
Yeah,
and I don't think the television revenue people can get away with keeping the way bands have been screwed over the years.
Yeah.
You can't do that, right? I mean, for some reason, I've never figured out why so many rock and roll bands, did they sign bad papers? Or
Exactly
were they coerced into doing it, or just tricked, or just naive?
Hey, you throw a contract, we get to record and go on tour.
Or it was the best that they could get.
We would have signed a piece of toilet paper if it had gotten us with a record company, RCA.
But then when you think about like Elvis...
He gave half of his money to Colonel Parker.
I know, but he had to because he signed.
That's right.
Then I'm thinking, what's the band Badfinger, where 2 of them killed themselves?
Yes.
What happened with them? I know it was caused by that, but did they sign bad contracts?
Yes,
indeed, yeah.
Or were they just screwed over? Did the people do illegal stuff?
I don't think so.
Because they both killed themselves over that, didn't they?
Yep.
What a depressing.
Yeah.
Well, and the Beatles, when they first started, they signed a lot of their royalty money. They had no idea they could set up their own publishing.
Aren't the Stones really good? Haven't the Stones always been their own boss?
They got screwed
early
with Alan Klein.
Alan Klein gave them got $1 a record royalty in the UK, but he owned all the rights to their recordings in America, and they didn't see that when they signed.
Yeah.
So that's still not the case. So
yeah, anything that they did pre 1971 is Alan Klein's. Publishing
pre-70. Okay, well they did a lot after 70.
Taylor Swift had the same kind of deal with where he owned the rights to her songs.
Yep.
And she got, you know how she got around it?
Who owned him?
Her former manager.
Scooter something.
Yeah.
How'd she get around it?
re-recorded the music.
Yep.
Oh.
Which is freaking brilliant.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, it's Ann.
Hey.
Hi, I want to hijack the conversation back to Dig, the documentary you saw last night.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Jim, have you seen it?
I have not.
Well, if you like both of those bands, you need to see the original, and then you need to see the new expanded version with more explanatory scenes and additional narration by Joel Guion.
Who's the tambourine player for Brian Jonestown.
Okay.
And, it's pretty amazing. Tom and I, they veer between genius and knuckleheadism, as most musicians do. And Tom and I would just look at each other and say, oh, God, I know that guy.
We toured with that guy,
I totally played with that guy. Anyway, so the filmmaker was there, and she was getting an award from Film Scene, and she, her name is Andi Timoner, and she and so there was a dialogue afterwards, and that was really, really interesting to hear what she had to say. And she talked about some of her other documentaries, too. And her house just burned down in the L.A. fire.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And she lost everything, including a cat, all her awards, all her archival footage, everything.
Her fireproof safe with a lot of cash in it.
Completely melted, burned, because she'd been doing all this tech documentary, so she banks are going under, so she had some cash tucked away, and it burned up.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but it was good. It was fun.
Those bands. I have a couple Dandy Warhol CDs, and I like them a lot. It used to be I used to have to spend weekends budgeting at the university during budget time, and I just crank the Dandies and get after it.
Well, they put out a record a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry, what?
They just put out a record a year or two ago. And
I didn't know that.
And
so
it's really good.
I'll every now and then I check their tour, and they'd never be closer than friggin' St. Louis or Minneapolis or whatever. But it was, if you're a fan of those bands, you should probably watch it. Your heroes might have feet of kind of clay.
Well, I think you hit it on the head. Brilliance and knuckleheadedness.
Oh, my God. Anton is just an idiot. He's just a moron.
Yeah. And I know people talk about how wonderful his music, how great his records are, but in the documentary, you don't hear the records. You hear him playing live or not playing live, just trashing his bandmates on stage, and
in fights,
sticking around in his little home studio with his 800 sitars. You don't get a sense of what the recorded music might be like, and I think the recorded music is probably better than what you see in the documentary.
And his guitars, he never tunes his guitars. It just drives me crazy.
It just drives Tom crazy. Tune it! But the Dandies come off a little more polished, and their stage shows are, everyone has tuned their instruments, so that helped. But no, Jim, if you like those bands, man, you need to watch this documentary.
Well, I will get you their latest. Each of the bands have put out a record in the last couple of years. I'll get you copies of them. So you can
that would be great.
Okay, and I might have the original Dig downstairs in the shelves, so I'll look and see if I have it.
Okay? Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll bring it if we have it.
Sorry to hijack, guys, but I'll see you later.
Thanks, Ann.
Bye.
Let's take a break.
Okay. We'll be back.
You're listening to Hawkfanatic on the Mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Your life is always changing, and a lot of things can affect how and what you save. So a good retirement plan changes with your life. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. So start a conversation today. Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far. For information locally, call 338-3799 or 866-217-2369 or stop by 501 12th Avenue, Suite 201, Coralville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC.
It's lunchtime, and I'm starving. Let's grab something to eat.
All right. What do you recommend?
Well, since you're new in town, I'm taking you to a very special Italian restaurant called Zio Giano's. Zio Giano's has been owned and operated by the same family for 40 years.
Sounds good. I love Italian. Are you sure we have enough time for Italian?
Yes, and you'll love it. The food is fresh, and the service is fast.
Sounds perfect. We are definitely going to Zio Giano's.
Zio Giano's. Pasta with a smile.
Zio Giano's. Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
There's a problem here in eastern Iowa. There's not enough Hawkeye fans. I mean, really, shouldn't everybody be a Hawkeye fan? Well, maybe not, but you should be a fan of my team at Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson, and my team of experts at Hawkeye Title and Settlement know what they're doing. Call us at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Hi, this is Bill Leixenring from the Oxyoke Inn. The Oxyoke Inn is now serving daily. Our Oxyoke family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Now serving lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily with 4 portion sizes. Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. You can also order curbside carryout and pies to go online and take the comforting taste of the Oxyoke home to your family's table. Visit oxyokeinn.com for hours, menus, reservations, carryout, specials, and gift cards. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxyoke Inn, in the heart of Amana.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier, for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty. You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 800-800-ROSE. Remember,
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
KCJJ Weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
It is going to be a little chilly this week, and we do have a couple shots at some snow off and on here through the week as well. Today, partly cloudy, becoming cloudy by late afternoon. We'll get to 32 for a high today, and then tonight some light snow, just a dusting. Could make things a little slick for the commute tomorrow. 14 our low tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 23. We'll get to 20 with more light snow on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Temperature now at 19.
And we're back with Hawkfanatic.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
We are back.
The baseball team kicks off their season this weekend. They are down in South Florida for a 3-game series. Normally, don't they play in like tournaments to start the season? But they're playing South Florida 3 games.
And then we have media day tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
baseball media day. I'm not sure what time. I actually haven't seen an email, or maybe I missed it. I mean, the softball was at 1:15, but yeah, media day tomorrow for baseball. And
God, that's crazy.
Well, baseball's aren't they going to try to play a game in late February?
Yeah, they always do. Yeah,
Rick is very creative that way, and it's interesting. We'll see if they can get it done. I mean, today would obviously be too cold to play baseball.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
It looks like baseball weather if you just look out there and see the sun shining, but no, you couldn't get away with it. But yeah, spring is slowly coming. Basketball 2/3 of the way through, but again, back to the men. A lot of talk about Fran's future and what have you, and people ask me why don't you? I've had some people say, why don't you say what you think? I mean, I'm not comfortable saying. I'm not. Last thing I want to do is say that I think Fran's done after this year, and then have to deal with Fran for 8 games left. Yeah, because I don't know that for certain. I have nothing to suggest. There's a lot of people thinking that might be the case, and I think a lot of people, since the team's struggling, with his youngest son being done at West High, but then a lot of people are putting this the fact that he's not just distraught after. If you think back, yes, I mean Fran. If you watch, Fran was upset a lot during Saturday's game.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he was. I mean, now did he get technicals and go nuts and do Fran Con 10 or whatever? No, he didn't do that. But then after the game, but if you remember, even during his times where he would get really upset and got booted from some games, I rarely remember him ever going off in press conferences. He's never been one of those types of guys, really. He's never been like a Bobby Knight press conference guy. I mean, Fran gets mad in those heat of the moment times on the court. Now, there's been a couple times at Ohio State, but that wasn't directed toward media. That was directed at an official. But a lot of people keep saying the reason they think he's done after is because he's not coaching with any emotion. I'm not ready to go there. I think that's just reading too much into a situation in which you're trying to determine the outcome before it happens.
Well, Fran's going to do what Fran's going to do, and I don't know that he's given.
Okay, let's say they lose out. Do you think Beth forces them out if they lose out?
If they lose out, all of the rest of their games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, see, I'm not ready to go there.
Well, and fair enough.
Let's say they go 2-6, 3-5.
Well, then, the attendance has got to be an issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so, but it's just one of these stories where people want the answer right now. And,
they're not going to get it.
And then I think when Mike Woodson announced, I think I've had some Iowa fans ask me, do you think Fran? I'm like, what do you mean, dude? Do I think? I'm not thinking about that. And I don't think, granted, smart Alex is going to say, well, there's no students in the, but it's not gotten bad enough to where people are chanting fire Fran at games.
No.
Now, a cynic would say, well, yeah, there's no students at your games. That's why. But no, it's not that bad. But no, there's issues, and it's also easy to speculate on a guy who's 65 in his 15th year. You know what I mean?
And his son's going to be playing.
Yes,
at Butler.
So there's a lot of reasons to think this might be the end. But I'm not going to come on here and say I think this is it for Fran. That's just not fair with 8 games left in the season. I have my thoughts on it, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, and we need to let that happen.
And I think a lot of people have given up on this team, too, and that's your prerogative. I mean, this team hasn't done much to inspire confidence.
No.
They are injured. I think one thing it's easy to overlook, Cooper Koch's injury has been significant. They were counting on him to be a guy that could play at 2 or 3 different positions, and that's been a loss for them.
And hit some threes.
And that has been a loss for them. And combine that with Owen now, and it's a significant loss. And I don't think recently Brock Harding hasn't played at the level they were hoping he would. He was for a while, but he's kind of tapered off a little bit.
He has, and he every game he makes a spectacular play or two. That's where you can see, man, this kid's got some moxie, and then he'll do some, a few boneheaded plays.
Well, he over dribbles.
He does.
He does over dribble, and he's still not a reliable 3-point shooter. And teams will still sag off him, and that makes it hard at his size to get in there and what have you. So, but yeah, no, it's a struggle right now, and we'll see. I mean, Fran was not, but he was okay after the loss. But like I said, I just don't remember tons of press conferences, even in his most heated moments on the court, where he came in and was just really heated still in the press conference. That's just not him.
He's very steady.
He moves on after losing it. He moves on quickly.
Has he ever walked out of a press conference?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I can remember. No, not that I don't recall him ever really even yelling at a reporter in a press conference since he's been here at Iowa. He's very businesslike. He'll joke at times, but he has been a little more laid back and mellow this year and last year. But maybe that's just part of him
maturing.
Well, I'm not about maturing, but just, you know what I mean? Just kind of settling in, or just,
like a fine wine, mellowing with age?
Or just kind of mellowing a little bit with age. I don't know. But I did notice him a lot. He was arguing in that Wisconsin game. There was times where I'm like, man, he's asking for it. There was a couple times where he was out at the midcourt line trying to get his point across. So, there was some emotion there.
And maybe with what happened with Jack this past year, maybe
it's been a lot. There's a lot that has gone on in their life off the court. So nothing would surprise me at this stage. But as far as we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. Because, like I said, they're not going to make the Big Ten tournament. How do we know that with 8 games left?
We don't know that.
There's still there's some teams in the conference that are capable. Washington, Northwestern. Still, Minnesota, they're 5-8 or 4-8 now, or whatever. There's still a lot of teams that can slip into those bottom 3 spots without it being Iowa now. But they're going to have to win at least 2 or 3 games, I think, to avoid that.
Well, both Oregon, Indiana, and Rutgers are all sitting at 5-8. Iowa's at 4-8. So they could easily slip down.
What is Washington?
Washington is 3-9.
What is Northwestern?
4-9.
And I'm trying to think, what's another one? Who else is
Minnesota's 4-9.
Okay, yeah.
Penn State 3-10.
They're free falling. Look at it. I look at. So you can easily see 3 teams finishing below Iowa unless Iowa just completely implodes.
Yeah, Iowa, they just haven't shown that they're going to be able to get things right and pull out games.
Watch them get in as the 15th seed and make like a run. They make like 33s in 3 games or whatever. But I think with Freeman you might see that, but I just think without him it's just too hard. Riley Mulvey plays hard. He does, he sets. He's no offensive threat.
He does set good screens. I'll give him that.
Absolutely. He and Evan Brown's just, unfortunately, they're just not much of a threat offensively. Teams don't really have to guard him. They just sag off on other guys. Peyton had another one of his stinker games.
Like 7?
2 of 11. He just had a stinker game, and he's had those every once in a while, but he does enough good games where these you have to kind of live with. It's unfortunate that it happened in this game. They really needed him, and he just didn't have it.
No, he didn't.
I feel bad for him because nobody plays harder. Nobody wants to win more than he does. I just feel bad for him, and it was a tough loss.
It was. Yeah, I mean, at least it wasn't embarrassing like the game in Madison
No,
was.
because Wisconsin still, they're not that good. I mean, I mean, they're not going to come here and embarrass Iowa on their home floor. I didn't see that happening, and I still see that.
And it didn't happen.
I still see that game up there was sort of a fluke.
Oh, for sure,
it really was.
But 116 points, 21 threes.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, they made 12. They made 33 in 2 games.
Yeah.
They missed a lot of threes. They take a ton of threes.
They do. Well, that's their thing. They shoot threes and they get to
couple
the
of their
free
big
throw
men
line.
took a couple threes that I thought were ill-advised.
Yeah, I agree.
But they hung on to win. They played as if they knew they were going to win. And I just couldn't believe, though, how Blackwell kept getting to the basket. Because I thought Blackwell took some bad perimeter shots. He missed a lot of...
He did.
But then all of a sudden he started weaving his way to the basket, and he was able to get to the basket. It just seemed like then that caused them to sort of sag in, and then Tanji's shooting threes and getting to the basket. But yeah, Wisconsin's just a better team.
Yeah, well, that's exactly,
even with Freeman, they're
exactly
a better
right.
team.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but what do you think when Lodgy made that three?
He made 2 against Iowa State.
Yeah, he said the 2 games where he's actually, and then he I think he had 5. I mean, he gave them a little bit. But they need more from Lodgy, Riley, and Evan. Those 3 guys got to somehow give them 10 to 15 a game, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
And Tajo
he's
must
just not ready. He's just not
yeah,
ready.
Not be
that's
ready
how
at all.
That's the only way I can interpret it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you ask Fran about him, he's going to speak very complimentary. But Fran's not going to. Well, he's not ready. He's bottom of the rotation right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this East Coast trip is not coming at a good time.
It is, and let's be honest. If Riley Mulvey's in your starting lineup, then you've perhaps got some issues. Fair?
I think it's fair to say. Yeah. Unless you're talking about the team's GPA, because he's the Dean's list.
And
he's a good kid, man. He's a fun kid to talk to. He's a good kid.
He plays hard.
Plays his ass off. There's times where I wish they'd give him the ball in the post and just see what he can do.
Uh-huh.
But they obviously see it every day in practice. You've noticed they're not feeding Riley Mulvey in the post. He's setting screens 20 feet away from the basket. And they're not, for some reason, it doesn't work for pick and rolls and what have you. So, but yeah, no, this is tough. This is a tough stretch. And then, you add that with coming off a season last year where they didn't make the tournament. This is a tough sell right now for Iowa. But Fran is never one to panic. You know that. He's just one game at a time. All that matters now is wins. And would I be stunned if they went out there and won at Rutgers? No. I mean, Rutgers has had some bad losses this year. I wish I had their schedule in front of me. They've had some bad. They lost a couple games that they should not. Did they? I'll have to look it up.
They lost to one of the real bottom feeders.
They also lost a couple non-conference games, I think, that were not. That I'm like, how this has not been. Rutgers fans they got these 2 5-stars and thought, oh my God, here we are. They're a bubble team at best right now for the NCAA tournament. I think they're 5-8 now, right? They were 5-7.
5-8 in conference. Yeah. Oh, I don't even know that they're
12 and 12 overall.
12,
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's NCAA bubble at the best, and I think they're on the wrong side of the bubble. But it just hasn't been a good fit for them on the court, and they've had some injuries, and there's times where Ace Bailey will score 30 points and they'll still lose. I mean, Ace Bailey and the Harper kid, Dylan Harper, they are incredible. I mean, they are NBA players, but it just goes to show you, though, you need more than 2.
All right.
Now, there was a funny thing in their game yesterday with Ohio State, Maryland. One of their players, Jeremiah Williams, I think he fouled out, and the Maryland students do that thing where while you're walking back, they clap for every step you take. He would not sit down. He was going back and forth, and it went on for about a minute or so. And then one time he faked like he was going to sit down, then he rose back. It was hilarious. Then he finally did sit down, but it was funny that he was playing with the crowd like that, and they were playing along with him.
I think I found your out of conference.
Who was it?
Kennesaw State.
Yes.
Yeah, 79-77.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, I know that was a long time ago in this season, and a lot has changed, but they're 5-8 for a reason.
Yeah.
So, no, would I be stunned if I went out there and made 13 threes and escaped with the win? No.
And
would I bet on that happening? No.
Rutgers lost to Princeton. I know Princeton has
Princeton's
a competitive team, but
no, this has been a very up and down, disappointing season for Rutgers.
Let's see, in the Big Ten,
give up a lot of points.
Yeah, they beat UCLA is probably their biggest win.
That's when UCLA was really stinking.
And they beat Nebraska. They lost to Penn State.
Mm-hmm. I watched that game. Penn State is in a free fall.
Yeah, they're not very good.
No. They're 3.
Rutgers beat Illinois last week.
I watched that game. That was an impressive game. Yeah, I'm saying they can be the team that beat Illinois and the team that lost to Kennesaw State. Which one shows up against Iowa? My guess is it'll be the team that beat Illinois. Had they won at Maryland, upset Maryland yesterday, I would have given Iowa a better chance, if that makes sense. Because it seems like Rutgers doesn't handle their success very well. They get a big win, the next thing you know, they're stubbing their toe against it. They're just really up and down. Where right now, unfortunately, Iowa's down. Iowa's not. Yeah. Iowa's consistent right now. They've lost 6 out of 7 games.
And the one we won was by, 1 point over Penn State at home.
Yeah.
And that's...
And I think Penn State is emerging as the worst team in the conference, which that surprises me. I didn't see that happening, but there's still a lot of time for Northwestern to plummet, too. I think they're going to continue to suffer without Barnheiser.
Yeah, boy.
And I don't know if that Jaden Reach got. I think he may have gotten injured too.
We're right there though with them.
Yeah, well, no, Iowa's one of there's 6 or 7 teams that are in danger of not making the tournament. But what I'm saying, it's just still there's still 8 games left though. Is what I'm saying. There's still so much season left to where to speculate on it now seems like a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm Penn State at 3-10, and Penn State's showing. Although I guess you could argue that Penn State and Iowa right now, they are the least productive teams in the conference right now. They're the least effective teams right now.
Penn State has lost 5 in a row.
Iowa's lost 6 of 7.
And 2 other teams have lost 5 in a row, Oregon and Indiana.
Yeah, Oregon is in a free fall that I did not expect. So, Oregon's not really being – I don't see a lot of, Oregon may not make the Big Ten tournament. Oregon may not make the Big Ten tournament. Iowa could finish. Iowa's only 1 loss behind them with 8 games. To me, there's still way too many teams involved that could not make the tournament to start worrying and speculating about who's going to make the tournament is what I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough.
And like I said, I still think Iowa's going to find a way not to make it, but if they lose both these games this week, which I'm afraid they're going to, then I'll start. Okay, then it's going to be tough.
Well, where are the wins going to come from? Washington and Northwestern are our best shots.
But Northwestern's there.
Yes, it is.
But if Leach is out, I haven't looked. I know he got hurt. If they've lost their best transfer, then they're done. Because they're hanging by a thread right now without Barnheiser. I know they got Martinelli, but he can't do it by himself.
No.
But okay, let's say they beat Northwestern and Washington.
That gives us we're 6-8.
I'm not sure if I think 6-14 may not be going to the Big Ten tournament.
It might not. Well, we're back to there's too many games to be played.
Left. Yeah, because there could be a bunch of teams. Yeah, so it's going to be. So how many? Okay, so you've got Michigan State's 10-2.
Yes.
Maryland's 8-5. Purdue's what? Purdue's 10-2.
Purdue is 11.
11-2. Okay,
and Michigan's 10-2.
And Michigan, so you got those 4. Maryland, then what's 5th place?
Well, 4th place is Wisconsin and UCLA tied at 9-4.
Okay, and then you got Maryland at 8-5. So that's 7 teams altogether.
That's 6 teams, and then Illinois is at 8-6, and then everybody else.
That's okay. So then it drops to everybody else,
and then everybody else has a losing record in conference.
So how many teams is that with losing record? Is that
11?
Think about that. There's 11 teams that could get that could fall into those bottom 3 spots easily right now. How about Nebraska, though? They won 4 in a row. I'll tell you, I did not see that happening with this team, watching his team, but he's a good coach. Aren't they 16-8 now overall? And 6-7?
16-8 is correct.
And 6-7 or 5-7? What are they?
6-7.
I mean, they're in the tournament right now.
Yeah.
If he gets that team into the tournament,
would
you like? What if Fran retired and Iowa hired Hoiberg? Would you like that?
We could do a lot worse.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
It would be interesting.
They hire Hoiberg and Matt Campbell. I'm just joking. I'm not. Well, sooner. I mean, I think fair to say 3 years from now, Kirk and Fran are probably not the head coaches. I mean, is that really going out on a limb?
No.
Yeah, so
it isn't.
So yeah, it's fair to speculate about life after both of them right now.
But I know there's a lot of recruiting and crap going on with football. I'm not interested in football right now.
Well, what? I mean, there's always recruiting going on with football.
I
Why is
know.
now any different?
Because it's so far out of football season for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into basketball mode.
I mean, I will say, Rob wrote a story about Dean Oliver's son.
Uh-huh.
That was an interesting human. It drove a ton of traffic on our website last. I mean, I don't mind recruiting stuff like that. I don't need to have updates. I mean, like that. It was funny. I couldn't figure out what all my colleagues. A bunch of them came running down the steps with their cameras before the game the other day. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Am I missing something? And then it was because some 4-star and his dad had come in to sit down to watch. And they were all taking pictures, and they all raced back up to their computers. And that's that's not me. I don't need to do that. Because I guarantee you the Rivals 247 and the On3 site had the exact same photo update. And see, I haven't been online much because I've been busy. But that's what they do, and I get it. I mean, but that's just too much recruiting coverage for me.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, there was a 4-star that watched the game. My guess is he probably did not leave overly impressed with what he saw. But he probably said, well, I could play here. I could sure play here, and they do play a fun style. You can say what you want about Iowa. They do play a fun style.
They do.
Yeah, it's just been a tough go. I just feel so bad for Peyton. And I do for Josh Dix, too. I mean, Josh Dix is one of these guys. Josh Dix could have gone into the portal and gone to a lot of places.
All right, let's say
Owen Freeman, same thing, and they stayed. And I do think there's still a lot of loyalty to Fran on this team.
Let's say that Fran stays, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Stays for another couple of years. Do you think Josh Dix and Owen Freeman will be on the roster here next year?
I would say Owen Freeman for sure. Just from what I've been told, he's very loyal to Fran.
Uh-huh.
That's just from what I've been told by people that are closer to him than I am. And Dix, I think so too, but I don't know for sure. I mean, I don't know either one of these kids very well. There was rumors about Dix and Creighton last year, and I asked him about that immediately. He said there was no truth to it. So it's hard to say. But I do sense there is some loyalty to Fran. I think Owen Freeman seems like he loves it here at Iowa, and he does really appreciate that Fran recruited him, and so we'll see.
Don't we imagine that Josh Dix will at least test the waters?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And should.
And should. Yeah, he'll definitely test the waters. And 6'6" shooting guard, you get a lot of valuable experience with that. So, yeah, no, I definitely think he will. But we'll see. A lot can happen between now and the next 6 months. I mean,
that's for sure.
I mean, it looks pretty obvious Kirk's coming back. I mean, he said that during the season when he was asked about it. So he's out recruiting now. And so we'll see. I mean, but no, I'm with you. I'm footballed out.
Yeah.
I mean, I started when that Super Bowl, when it started, I'm like, I really wasn't that excited. It just really didn't.
I wonder if I were to go back through. I remember the first Super Bowl, watching it and being very caught up in that.
The first Super Bowl?
Uh-huh.
You mean the one I was 3.
59 years ago.
I was 3, or 2.
Yeah.
I was 2.
I would have been, 13?
Yeah, roughly, yeah. I don't remember watching it. I probably didn't watch it. I probably laid in front of the TV crying.
But out of the 59 Super Bowls, I've probably missed at least 20 of them.
Oh, God,
maybe
me
more.
Too, me too. I mean, or had them on and then got distracted.
Yeah.
I mean, I even got when the Bears destroyed New England in '85. I quit watching that. I mean, it just got. I mean, I remember. I don't think I watched the 4. I was in college at the time and was with a bunch of friends who were, most of us were Bears fans. But once we knew the game was over, we kind of just got distracted, turned up the music, and the TV was on in the background.
We were on the road at the time. I can't remember, but I do remember watching the game. But I can't remember where we were.
I do remember watching like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys games in the 70s. But then I was like 10, 11. I was starting to get into sports. I remember watching some of those. But no, I'm with you. I've drifted on I didn't watch a lot of the Patriot ones. I didn't watch those from start to finish. I did watch Eli beat him with that one where David Tyree made that incredible catch. I do remember watching that game from start to finish because wasn't that the New England team that was undefeated? I wanted to see if they were going to complete the season. They had Randy Moss.
I think you might.
And somehow Eli figured out a way to beat him, and that was incredible. But no. And did you see the graphic, the score graphic for the Super Bowl? It looked like a 10-year-old had done it.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
It was very rudimentary looking.
It was just strange for Fox. And that I wasn't the only one that thought it was odd because I did see some people talking about it on social media that they didn't spend much for their graphics budget for the score. It looked like I don't know, it just looked really primitive.
And then it looked really hokey when they were going to the announcers and they were in the middle of Bourbon Street. I know they weren't in the middle of Bourbon Street, but they had that graphic in the back, made it look like they were in downtown New Orleans instead of up in a booth. Why did they do that?
Yeah, I don't know why you have to bother to do that. I mean, we know they're not in downtown New Orleans when the game's going on.
That's just goofy.
They were New Orleans leads for the most Super Bowl hosts, ahead of Miami.
Well,
I would never have guessed that. But I've been to New Orleans 3 times.
Once for me is all.
And
Never been.
It's okay. I mean, I wasn't blown away.
You need to go.
Were you there for Mardi Gras?
No.
I wasn't either.
I'd like to go down there for their jazz.
No, you need to exactly that.
Yeah, I mean that stuff. If you like, I mean, I'm not a big jazz fan, but you know,
No, but it's like
the ambiance and
like
the
the
food.
Stones have played in it on that festival.
You know, good crawfish, gumbo. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
It's drivable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you and I disagree. But you would, I mean, you drive across Greenland.
Although I will tell you that's as far as I'm going to drive anymore.
How long of a drive is it?
It's about 9 hours.
The older I get,
New Orleans, that's it?
Oh, New Orleans. I'm sorry. I was thinking Memphis.
No, New Orleans is like 16.
Yeah, it's a lot longer than that. Sorry. No, it's not drivable. I take it all back.
And the older I'm getting, hell, Dubuque's barely drivable for me. You know, I mean, I've just never been. But I think part of that was because I had to do so much road trips. You know, when I was working at the Press Citizen, I mean, there were times instead of giving us 3 plane flights to go cover football out there, we had to drive. And we did those 18, 20-hour road trips where you get home at like Sunday morning at like 5 a.m. and your whole day. I know I've got my little violin out, but no, that's part of what turned me against road trips was all the traveling I had to do. And it also turned me against airport. I hate flying. I don't mind flying once the plane's up. It's everything else.
Oh no, flying is no fun anymore.
What I've never understood about the people flying too is the moment the plane stops, you know, and you're taxiing, and then the moment they let the seatbelt, everyone stands up like it's going to help them be the first one off the plane when it does. I've never understood that. Why do people do that?
I don't know.
I think it's because they're still steer crazy from being in cramped quarters.
That's possible.
But yeah, no, traveling. That's the thing. When I started doing sports running, I thought I would enjoy traveling more than I did, and no, it was an eye opener for me. I'm like, God,
that's interesting.
This
and
sucks.
People still ask me to this day, you know, do you miss performing? And I go, not in the slightest, but I do miss the travel.
You're just the opposite of Led Zeppelin. They missed the performing and hated the traveling.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, dudes.
Hey.
Hey. Have you ever heard the staff vacuum an airplane?
Have I ever heard the staff vacuum an airplane? I do not believe that I have.
So what you do is the plane lands and you sit there and you read your magazine while all those other idiots are standing, bumping into each other, trying to get off the plane. And as soon as they turn on a vacuum cleaner, you know that there's not another passenger left. And then you just stand up and walk right off.
Oh, yeah? That would work.
Good strategy.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All right. Well, we got you. Are they ever going to finish that stupid Popeyes?
If I shook the Magic 8-Ball, it would say the odds are not good.
So, I mean, all they did is put the however you put on Tyvek wrap on it this year to cover up the plywood. That's all they've done. So what's the deal? You don't know?
I have no idea. I'll gladly ask around, but yeah, I find that as entertaining and curiosity driving as the pothole in the Sycamore Mall parking lot. I just drive over there and fill it with gravel. It's somebody just needs to take the shell of that building and then turn it into a local establishment if they can't finish it off for a national.
That just seems so odd, because those kind of buildings can go up in a hurry.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But sometimes they take, 3 years to come out of the ground, like the Dunkin' Donuts where Godfather's used to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I had a couple hundred people ask me about that, but
yeah.
As soon as we sell it, we don't have any control.
Right. All right. Yep. Thanks, dude.
All right. Later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, Godfather sounds good right now, doesn't it? Slice of Godfather's pizza.
Yeah. It does.
I wish we had one here.
Pizza always sounds good.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, but like there is some pizza that's better than others.
Oh, without question.
So,
But even the
So they're not going to open up. What area are you guys talking about?
This is across from Quick Star. It used to be Pizza
Hut used to be there.
Oh, okay. So they're not going to open that into
Well, it's been a shell for 2 years now. I
And
think.
is there somebody named Tyvek? Because if there is, they're worth a lot of money, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't believe that, but they have to be worth a lot of money if there is, right? If that's named,
would think
it's
so.
everywhere.
If it's named after somebody, yeah.
If it is, but I'm not sure if that's the case or not. But yeah, no, I would love to get a Popeyes closer. I mean,
I would go there. Sure,
I love Popeyes chicken. Now I don't. That's the kind of thing where it's tempting. You don't want to eat too much of it on because it's probably not the best for you. But man, is it good?
Yeah.
Same with KFC.
Yeah, it's good.
And they're different too, to where they're
different.
They're so different.
Yeah.
They're so different. So.
I still haven't been to one yet, but Raising Cane's I haven't eaten that yet. And
where's that?
It's in Coralville. But how can
is it a pizza place?
No, it is it serves chicken strips only.
Oh, did they
How
ever?
can they?
There's one in the old Capitol Mall now too.
I know people love chicken strips, but you'd think that would be a little too narrow.
You would think.
Yes.
And they don't even have wings. It's just strips.
I don't know for sure.
I'm going to go there and order a hamburger and just see what happens. How about a taco?
I went to McDonald's today.
I'm not a huge chicken strip fan. I never have been.
Oh, I like them.
I think they're too dry.
Because I wanted to get Tommy a latte or a frappe because he always complains that he never gets one when I'm working with him, and I kind of was hungry, so I was going to get something. I went to the drive-thru. They weren't taking orders at that time. 4 in the morning. So we're not taking orders right now.
Even though they're open 24/7.
Yeah, the lights are on. Okay, so the lights are on, but I can't. Yeah. So
my guess is they were short of staff.
Either that or doing a turnover or something like that. It's just frustrating. Hello.
Hi. Good morning, guys.
Hey.
2 things. The Cane's Chicken Place.
Yes.
My kids go there religiously once a week. They absolutely love it, and the cane sauce. They love the cane sauce, whatever that is.
Is that like
a dipping
Frank's?
sauce?
Yeah, it's like orangish. It
Yeah,
just
it's Frank's.
has different flavors to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd
I ate there
definitely
once
try
with them
it.
because they're like, you got to come with me, and it's like it was so. I didn't think it was incredible, but it wasn't bad either.
Okay.
They
But,
go there.
But
that's
all they
it,
have
though.
is
Just chicken strips.
chicken fingers.
Yeah, chicken strips. So you order a sandwich and you get like 2 or 3 strips on it.
So do you get are there side dishes? Do they have fries? Or?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very limited menu.
Okay.
They kind of specialize in a couple things, and that's what you get if you go there.
If I happened to stumble by it, I would probably go in just to try it out of curiosity. I'm not going to go out of my way to try it. Now, if they want to start advertising.
It's not cheap. I mean, you're
Well,
gonna
what
pay
is?
$10 to $12 for a strip meal.
That's pretty much standard anymore. But yeah, no. Now if they
Yeah, I guess you're right.
decide they want to advertise, then that's the best chicken strips ever.
You bet.
Yep.
Darn right.
All right. Thanks, man, for the update. So
Yeah,
where
one
is
more
it again?
Quick question for you, Suter.
Yes.
I assume there's no sweetheart auction since Steve's not around.
There is a sweetheart auction this Friday.
There is.
There is.
Wow. Well, that is great news.
Yes.
Okay. I'll be
February
listening.
14th.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, good news.
So that'll be you, Hunter, and Lang running that thing?
And yeah.
Yeah.
And Ann will be sorting.
We
There you
can handle this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, who needs Steve?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it kind
Just
of
have
runs
to-
itself. You answer the phone and take their orders.
You have to shuffle the lineup a little bit.
Yes.
One of these days, one of these auctions, I'm going to forget to charge my phone and not have the text line. But I won't.
Speaking, how is Captain doing? I haven't had an update.
I think doing well. I'm taking him to PT at 1.
Physical therapy. Is she doing that once a week?
3 times a week.
Oh, 3 times a week.
Yep. So I'm taking him.
So has the level of pain subsided a little bit?
Better.
Okay. Because
he's
Wednesday will be 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's when there should be a threshold there where he starts to feel considerably better
And won't have to
after
take as many painkillers.
Yes.
too, I assume,
He said he's still walking gingerly.
And he did say the other day when I talked to him that he found himself in the kitchen getting something.
Yes.
And he didn't take his walker. He just walked in.
Well, that's a good sign, right?
Maybe not for his mental capacities.
He's the oxy's doing a number on him, but it's keeping him mellow, and he's getting a lot of sleep, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
he needs the rest.
I think this is a good thing for him.
And like you said, he texted me one time, but he never responded to my text. I'm assuming he fell back asleep.
Yeah, he's just not being real active on.
Because I haven't reached out to him because I just don't want to bug him. I
mean,
exactly. Didn't you say there's people that want to go over like
yes.
visit him at the home? And
yes.
you're advising against that, right?
Yes.
I'm telling people to go over there unannounced. Is that what you? It's
Good
better
luck
if you just go over there unannounced, right?
Yeah. Sure, that'll go over well.
Hello.
Knock hard on the door though, because he could be sleeping.
Hello.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Hey. Okay. So the sauce at Raising Cane's is what's commonly known in the South as comeback sauce. It's from when they used to have little roadside diners, and the idea was they put this sauce out for your burgers and fries, and with the notion, y'all come back now, you hear? So comeback sauce is basically ketchup, mayonnaise, Worcestershire, chili powder, celery salt, a bunch of crap, and it's like a really lame version of Thousand Island dressing.
Ew.
Yeah, but wildly popular with people with low IQs. And
wow.
Sorry. And then, gosh, what was the other one? Oh, Tyvek.
Yes.
Tyvek was first pioneered back in the 1950s to create waterproof textbook covers. Remember we used to take brown paper bags and fold them over textbooks?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Tyvek was developed to make waterproof book covers by DuPont, and then they trademarked the name, which has no prescribed etymological reasoning. It's just a stupid term for plastic.
So it wasn't named after Billy Bob Tyvek then?
No.
Or Vladimir Tyvek.
Yeah. Nope. No derivative meaning, but yeah, Tyvek was for textbook covers.
Oh, interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
right,
dude. You've
one.
been a veritable fountain of knowledge today, which is kind of rare.
Don't get that very much on this
this station.
On this program.
Yes.
Okay. Later.
Thanks,
buddy.
Yeah,
no, dude's good.
We've got a bunch of good stuff for the auction coming up Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, some new folks and some our old favorites will be on.
Old favorites coming back.
Yeah, so we'll be doing good.
And I had the day off.
And
you
Pat
have
has
the day off,
or at least the morning off.
You can call in and order some stuff.
Yeah, I've never done that.
No, you haven't.
I've never bought anything off the auction.
Well, we will have. Have you updated the list recently?
I have not since Friday.
Okay, so
I'll be putting Zio Janos on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We got that.
And I think the other things that we've gotten in the last couple of days are already on there.
Okay.
But what I may have to do is go up and take off some sold-out ones.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I don't want to have to create everything every auction.
Understandable.
So at the end of an auction, like Midtown and Hilltop,
they are always there.
Always sell out.
Right.
And they're always there.
Yeah.
So then I put sold out there, and then when I get ready for the next auction, all I have to do is
just release that, take that part off.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
And not that it's hard to do, to create, but it's still, why spend 5 minutes on something if you don't have to?
Exactly. So you just have a basic thing already set up. That's good. All right. Well, we got
some police reports coming up.
We do not. We're kind of decided we were going to leave Monday as if Tommy was.
Oh, as if Tommy were not here.
Yeah. So he's already gone for the day, and we will have Molly Suter come in and shortly, and we got basketball tonight. Women's basketball, 7:00, BTN. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, and then Wednesday. We'll be talking probably about that and the men's game at Rutgers on Tuesday night.
We're going over to a friend's house.
Men play Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Isn't it Wednesday? Or is it Tuesday?
You're right, Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Because Fran has a Zoom on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Men, no, we're at Rutgers Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Let's double check that.
Okay, then did Fran have a Zoom today? And
I don't know. Well, the sheet says Tuesday. I could be wrong about that, but
just call it the universities.
I'm at it right now. Just it takes a second to.
These games all start to blend together.
You know they do.
Well, then we don't have Susan this year, so I'm having to do the men and women. I just lose track.
I mean, looking at Friday.
I thought Fran had a Zoom tomorrow, but
Okay, looking at Friday, you guys. Okay, there's track and field at Arkansas. There is softball versus Abilene Christian.
You're right. It's Wednesday, Pat.
That's right.
Oh, it is? Okay, so our sheet's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, and then softball in Commerce, Texas. Tennis in Memphis, Tennessee. Baseball at South Florida. Gymnastics versus Missouri, Alabama, and Charles, Missouri. The Heartlanders. Softball at East Texas A&M. And then wrestling. That's all on just Friday.
Yeah, it's crazy. And by the way, we got high school basketball tomorrow night. Clear Creek Amana hosts Mount Vernon. It's at Extreme Arena.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so Bray will be hankering the shows from Extreme Arena on Tuesday night. So
yeah, it really is a good venue.
It is. It's very cool.
I thought it was interesting when we asked the gymnast. She had pros and cons about it.
Yeah.
That was
and her answer was what she liked the most about Carver Hawkeye was all the Hawkeye stuff.
Yeah, it's the colors.
Yeah.
Extreme Arena is definitely not Hawkeye colors.
No, I hadn't really thought about that.
I hadn't either.
But they're closer to the action, and she gets to talk to the girls in between.
That was an interesting answer.
It was a great answer. Yeah,
she really thought about it. So.
Yep.
But and then I'm not sure about. I know we've got a softball player coming on later on the 29th. I'm not sure about Wednesday. I'll find out, and then I'm going to maybe I'll try. Well, I was going to try to have Adam on Friday, but since there's an auction. I don't like having Adam on the day of a game. I'd rather have him on after the game.
Yes,
sure.
So what I may do is I'll reach out to Adam. If he wants to do Wednesday, at least it'll be – but then that's 2 days after the women. So I'd rather maybe have Adam on next Monday after so we'll see. But I'll keep you posted on when he's going to do his next one. We'll try to fit it into his schedule.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to know what comeback sauce is so I don't try it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
No, my God.
It sounds like,
terrible.
Red mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Yuck. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Molly Suter is next. And Hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in